Yeah.
Big C, number 3.
Big C number 3.
Hey, sniper. Up.
Sniper.
Look up position.
Sukas. All right, I'm gonna go tunnel 6. There are two things that militaries around the world do not know how to deal with. One of them is drones, FPVs like this, and the other are tunnels, which is a lesser known fact, but I've talked about on my channel a lot. I was right. People call me crazy. They said that tunnels were not that important and that any military could simply flood them. Just send an FPV to the entrance, J-dam the entrances, sending ground drones, use flamethrowers, use bunker busters, block the entrances physically with foam. But in the end, the tunnels continued to supply the insurgents with safe movement and ambush opportunities leading up all the way to just a week before the end of the war. We don't know if it's actually gonna happen, but hey, they're taking the steps towards it. So just to be blatant on this whole thing, before I dive into the tunnels, I am glad this war is over. About 70,000 people have died in this conflict so far. Some were fighters, others weren't, but no matter what side you're on, I think everybody can get behind civilians on both sides not being killed anymore because this war is possibly nearing the end. War is the worst invention of mankind, and it should always be celebrated when powers are able to agree on something to end bloodshed. So let's get back into the strategic impact these tunnels had and just talk about it a little bit more. In 2023, there's a 4-kilometer long tunnel that was 50 meters underground, wide enough to drive vehicles through, that was found near the Erez crossing, which is right on the border of the Gaza Strip and Israel. It had electricity, it had ventilation, etc. This is nothing new. You know this from my channel. I've lived in them, I've driven through them, I've worked on them, and you guys on my channel were the first ones to have your eyes inside these tunnels. And it was described as Hamas's strategic infrastructure that would allow them to go and move troops or mounting attacks. And back before this war even began in 2021, it's claimed by Israel that they destroyed over 100 kilometers of this tunnel network inside Gaza during Operation Guardian of the Walls. And why am I mentioning this? It's because the second phase of this peace plan after the hostages are released is to destroy the infrastructure of Hamas, which includes the tunnels. They want to go and dismantle all the tunnel network. They want to take down the electricity. They want to blow up the storage depots and the houses inside, and overall just dismantle the entire thing. I said that tunnels were undefeatable by any modern military so far, and this proves the point. The war has ended, but the tunnels have not. And let me tell you, the amount of times that I've heard from Turkey, the adversary that I had in YBS and in the YPG, the amount of times that they would publish footage of striking targets, tunnel networks that I was in, and them saying that they killed 100 fighters, and they destroyed hundreds of kilometers of tunnels, they destroyed tunnel networks. No, not at all. We survived them. Not only our own small base that was a couple meters under the ground, but also our main platoon base. They put a couple thermal barracks on top of it. And the Kurds, my friends, I spoke to them directly after that, told me that they didn't even know a bombing was happening. They were so far underneath the ground, they didn't even know there was a bombing going on with a thermal barrack JDAM right on top of their base. That is what the tunnels provide. The tunnels protected us, and there was no time a cave-in happened due to bombing when I was there. Yeah, they caved in the entrances, but it takes a half a day of work, you clean it up, and it's good to go. Here's one of them that they bombed. It's wide enough to fit a vehicle inside. And when they bombed it, they said, "We destroyed the complex." You think that destroyed this? Absolutely not. We had put sandbags all across inside the entrance so that when they did bomb it, which we knew they would, it would not go inside the tunnel. Nobody was killed. Nobody was injured. The shrapnel couldn't come in. The concussion couldn't come in. We prepared this stuff. It just takes hard work. In reality, they used a $100,000 bomb for nothing. For nothing. A little bit of cleanup and we're good to go. It caved in that entrance and nothing else. And it was about halfway during my time in Shengal, living in those tunnels for a year, that our commander told us, put up blast doors in front of every entrance. Every room that you have, every entrance, blast door, blast door, blast door. Steel doors cemented to it. It was a lot of work. It was a pain in the ass. We had to carry the steel doors up the mountain, through the tunnel sometimes, up into our base, and then prop it up and weld it together into the wall. It sucked. It sucked, but it was worth it. We survived bombings because of that. The first base that I saw that had completed doors was the woman's base. The woman's base that was about a kilometer away. So even the woman could do it. It wasn't that much of an issue. They probably had them driven up there, but that's what I like to believe. So let's talk about this peace plan. So about 1,900 Palestinian prisoners will be exchanged for the 20 hostages that were taken during the beginning of the war. And the next step is to demilitarize Gaza and neutralize Hamas's weaponry. And destroying the tunnels is a central part of that. That is in the words of the minister. So what would it involve and what are the implications? Well, dismantling is no small job. This is going to take many months, if not years. It's not trivial. These tunnels were used to launch rockets, have hidden weapon depots, to move fighters for surprise attacks, infiltration, and as hiding places. They were extensive, they were deep, with multiple branches. This is not a super mountainous area, by the way. It's desert, all right? And we talk about it's impossible to do in Ukraine because it's just plains. Absolutely not. We've seen tunnels in warfare. I made a whole video about it in Europe just 100 years ago in World War I, and they were used to great effect. In the Somme, that was the beginning of the Somme, was a tunnel bomb detonated underneath the German positions. So destroying these tunnels are going to take a couple different things. First of all, the IDF has to locate the tunnel entrances and the shafts, which they have not been able to do even to this day. There's so many of them. They have to have clearing teams go inside there, and then the engineers go in with explosives and take out different sections of it. And the problem with this is that the tunnels span all across Gaza Strip, and they go underneath a lot of these buildings. And that's the difficulty that the IDF had during this war, is striking these tunnels without striking the houses that are civilian homes or hospitals. It's difficult. It's difficult. So yeah, like this is all part of the demilitarization of Hamas. They have to destroy these tunnels while they can. And now that they have this plan, this is their one opportunity to stomp it out. And I don't know how that's gonna go. Like, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know. I think that what they've been doing and what militaries around the world have been doing with these tunnels is just block the entrances. And that's just not gonna do the trick. It's not. It's gonna take a lot of demolition. It's going to take a lot of explosives, like a lot. But if they want to make sure that Hamas is not going to rise up again, they have to do it. If the tunnels exist, Hamas will exist. And that's just the fact. So just want to mention that. Yeah, I was right. I was right. I said it from the beginning. They are undefeatable. You cannot defeat a guerrilla force that are utilizing tunnels as the base of their strategic planning. It's not possible. And this is the proof of it. So anyway, that's all I'm trying to say. Not a political video. This is just talking about tunnels. I just want to talk about the next step and how that might look and the problems that they're going to face. Anyway, hope you guys learned something. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.